Hello again and welcome back to my channel, Freedom Lovers, or whatever's left of you, after Keir Starmer's latest sermon from the pulpit of sanctimonious claptrap. Did you watch that speech? Blimey. It was like watching a man audition for the role of chief censor in a dystopian B-movie, wasn't it? You know, I half expected him to pull out a gavel and start sentencing people to hard labour for tweeting the wrong emojis there and then. So let's get this straight. The Prime Minister of this country, the land that gave us Magna Carta and the right to tell the taxman to sod off, has just stood up and declared open season on anyone who dares to think out loud. If you've got a problem with migrant hotels popping up like mushrooms in your neighbourhood, or if you're not thrilled about immigration policy being dictated by unelected NGOs, or God forbid, you think the government's behaving like a bunch of power-drunk hall monitors, then congratulations, you're now public enemy number one. Starmer's basically unfurled a giant banner that says, speak your mind, go to jail. More people arrested for words? Yeah, you bet. More people silenced for dissent? Already happening. And a crackdown on protests that don't toe the government line? Well, let's just say, if you're planning a march against the latest migrant hotel in your town, you might want to pack a toothbrush for the nick. This isn't leadership, ladies and gents, is it? It's a declaration of war on the majority, on us, the majority who pay the taxes, obey the laws, and keep this country ticking over while the government plays footsie with every pressure group waving a clipboard and a superiority complex. Starmer's signalling loud and clear, isn't he? If you're not on board with the grand progressive project, if you don't clap like a trained seal every time they roll out another policy that screws the working class, you're the problem, and they've got handcuffs with your name on them. So let's talk about those dangerous words they're so keen to police. Apparently, saying what you think is now a hate crime, unless your thoughts are pre-approved by the Ministry of Right Think. Post something spicy on X about immigration, that's a squad car at your door. Question the wisdom of turning every high street into a cultural experiment, that's a one-way ticket to a diversity seminar. And don't even think about suggesting the government might be, lying through their teeth about crime stats or border control. That's the kind of heresy that gets you a cellmate called Big Dave who doesn't like sharing his bunk. And the protests? Forget it. If you're out there waving a placard because you don't fancy your town being used as a dumping ground for unvetted migrants, you're not a concerned citizen, you're a far-right thug. But if you're chaining yourself to a bulldozer to save a rare toad, you're a bloody hero. Funny how that works, isn't it? One lot gets tear gas and a criminal record, the other gets a pat on the head and a grant from the council. This is what happens when a government decides the people are the enemy. They don't want dialogue, they want obedience. They want 1984 in flesh, don't they? They don't want debate. They want silence, and they sure as hell don't want you pointing out that their policies are turning Britain into a place where free speech is about as welcome as a pork pie at a vegan convention. So what's next? Well, more arrests, more censorship, more of your rights flushed down the woke loo. And all because Starmer and his mates have decided that the majority, yes, us, the ones who actually keep this country running, are just a bunch of backward troublemakers who need to be put in their place. So here's a thought, Keir, if you're watching. Maybe the real threat isn't the bloke on X venting about his council tax. Maybe it's not the mum protesting outside a migrant hotel because she's worried about her kids. Maybe, just maybe, the real threat is a government so drunk on its own power that it thinks it can criminalise dissent and call it progress. But don't worry, folks. Keep your head down, don't say anything naughty, and maybe, just maybe, they'll let you keep your internet access for now. So there we go. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. I'm Paz49. Thanks for watching. And until the next time, here's to freedom while it lasts. Roger Trout.